Hi everyone! Yesterday we got to know two more finalists of European tournaments. Bayer Leverkusen will face Atalanta in the Europa League, while Olympiacos will face on Fiorentina in the Conference League. Folks, leave your predictions for the finals in the comments down below. Who will emerge victorious from these clashes? And while you're typing, we better proceed to begin. Let's get the show on the pitch. Philadelphia Union have penned a contract with 14-year-old midfielder Kevin Sullivan. The agreement between the parties lasts until 2028 and is the largest in MLS history for a local player. Kevin became the youngest footballer in Philadelphia's history to join the first team. Union Saint-Gilloise have defeated Royal Antwerp 1-0 in the Belgium Cup final. Koki Machida scored the only goal at the end of the first half. Marcus Rashford and Lisandro Martinez have returned to Manchester United's first-team training. Lunin deserves to start in the UCL final, but I think it'll be Courtois. Think Santiago Cañizares. Manchester United and Atletico Madrid are both willing to buy Gleison Bremer for 50 million euros, while Juventus wants 70 million euros plus for his services. Liverpool central midfielder Thiago Alcantara will leave the Reds in the summer of 2024 as a free agent, The Athletic reports. Joselu is the oldest substitute to score a double off the bench in the Champions League knockout stage. The footballer did it at the age of 34 years and 42 days. Florentino Perez is the captain of Real Madrid, and we are all his sailors, Carlo Ancelotti claimed. I'll finish my career between 2035 and 2040, and I will continue to win until then, Jose Mourinho shared. Arsenal have announced midfielder Jorginho has signed an extension to his contract at Emirates Stadium until the summer of 2025, as the previous agreement was about to expire this summer. We were all for a German final, everyone except the Polish referees. Accordingly, I will keep my fingers crossed for BVB in the final, told Bayern sporting director Max Eberl. The objective is to be second, and we need to win all 4 games. Right now, the team is above Barca, and the objective is this, Michel stated. Olympique Marseille have stepped up their efforts to hire Fonseca in order to get ahead of AC Milan. Ferland Mendy on Real Madrid reaching the Champions League final. When it happens so many times, it's not luck. You don't take Kane out in a game like that because you're playing against Real Madrid. You aren't playing against any Mickey Mouse team, Thierry Henry thinks. Arteta, Emery, Guardiola, Klopp, and Iraola are nominated for the Premier League's Manager of the Season title. Luis Rubiales has been charged with sexual abuse and coercion on Jenny Hermoso. He could face up to 18 months in jail. Barcelona have confirmed the signing of a contract with Pau Cubarsí until 2027, with a release clause worth 500 million euros. Saka, Palmer, Foden, Haaland, Isak, Mainu, Udogie, and Saliba are nominated for the Premier League's Young Player of the Season title. Palmer, Haaland, Foden, Isak, Odegaard, Rice, Van Dijk, and Watkins are nominated for the Premier League's Player of the Season title. Thomas Müller has made 151 Champions League appearances for one club, drawing level with first-placed XAVI. Real Madrid did not lose any games in the Champions League 2023-24 season, which is the club's record unbeaten streak throughout a single tournament run. I can't believe it. My first Champions League final in England against Dortmund, Jude Bellingham said. We've seen the last 2.5 games where Chelsea played just beautiful football, noted Chelsea owner Todd Boehly. President Florentino Perez, thank you for bringing me to the biggest club in the world, Vinicius Jr. claimed. Andrei Lunin is closing in and securing a contract with Real Madrid until 2029, Nicolas Quiro reports. Bayern Munich defender Alphonso Davies gave an answer to the question of whether he will play for Real Madrid next season. Right now, my agent is talking to Bayern, the Canadian defender said. The only goal Belgium can pursue at Euro 2024 is to become the winners of the tournament, Timothy Castagne believes. Kane couldn't keep playing against Real Madrid because he played with back pain. Thomas Tuchel explained Harry's substitution. Anyone who's ever played football knows how I'm feeling right now. That we've been knocked out in the closing stages, having led 1-0 until the 85th minute, it's extremely bitter. We'd taken one step to London, we saw ourselves in the final, and now I'm lost for words, Manuel Neuer admitted. Toni Kroos reached the Champions League final for the 7th time, setting an absolute record for the current tournament format. Max Eberl, Bayern Munich sporting director, slammed the performance of the head referee of their tie against Real Madrid, Szymon Marciniak. Marciniak admitted and apologized for his mistake, but what we can do with his apology? A group of Juventus fans supported Massimiliano Allegri. We don't want Motta and Conte. Tuchel on Bayern's disallowed goal. This wouldn't have happened on Real Madrid's side. Bayern complained about the offside? Okay, so we complain about the cancelled goal of Nacho, because Kimmich dived, Carlo Ancelotti claimed. And now let's have a look at the results of yesterday's match day. Alright, here's a quick recap of yesterday's games. Atalanta confidently dealt with Marseille at home 3-0. Lookman, Ruggeri and Torre were responsible for the goals. In another match, AS Roma and Bayer delivered another outstanding clash. The Yellow and Reds managed to recover the 2-goal gap that Leverkusen had gained in the first match. Yet, once again, Xabi Alonso's men managed to escape defeat in the last minutes. The hosts responded to Paredes' brace with their 2 accurate shots. First, it was Mancini who netted an own goal, and in the 97th minute, Stanisic somehow leveled the score. Meanwhile, Olympiacos turned out to be stronger than Aston Villa for the second time in the only semi-final meeting of the Conference League, 2-0. And again, El Kaabi became a nightmare for the villains. This time, the striker backed the brace. Moving on to the main news of the release. After beating Bayern Munich, Real Madrid head coach Carlo Ancelotti shared his thoughts on Vinicius Jr.'s performance. I think Vinicius is very close to winning the Ballon d'Or. Few players can do what he has done in these semi-finals. There is still a final and he'll be an important element. What he was able to do in the first and second legs is something you rarely see, Ancelotti said. Manchester United will not be choosing a possible successor to Erik ten Hag based on a manager's credentials alone. The club decided not to make a decision on the Dutch coach until the FA Cup final against Manchester City on May 25th. However, if ten Hag leaves his post in the summer, the Red Devils will not consider Gareth Southgate's candidacy a lower priority just because of the lack of trophies. The English club will be looking for a coach who is willing to take on a long-term project rather than immediately compete for the title at any cost. Therefore, another potential candidate, Thomas Tuchel, will be seriously considered only if he is prepared to build a consistent team. Real Madrid midfielder Aurelien Tchouameni picked up an injury in the 2-1 win over Bayern Munich and is at risk of missing both the Champions League final and Euro 2024. In the 70th minute of the Real Madrid vs Bayern Munich tie, Aurelien was replaced by Eduardo Camavinga. Los Blancos' official website reported that the 24-year-old Frenchman has been diagnosed with a stress injury to his left foot, with the club's medical staff monitoring the footballer's recovery. Aurelien suffered a fracture on the second metatarsal of his left foot, thus he will not be available for 3 to 4 weeks. On May 16th, the head coach of France, Didier Deschamps, will announce a short list of players who will go to the team's training camp ahead of Euro 2024. Tchouameni is expected to be included in the list despite his injury. The Champions League final will take place on June 1st, in which Real Madrid will face Borussia Dortmund. Napoli value winger KHVICHA Kvaratskhelia at 120 to 130 million euros. PSG and Barcelona are reportedly keen on signing the player. Moreover, the club from Paris has all the necessary means to make a deal, whereas the Catalans cannot really afford the big costs. Still, Napoli president Aurelio De Laurentiis has no intention of offloading the player. KHVICHA's agreement with the Partenopeians is valid until 2027, and the parties are currently in talks to renew it. Early on, there were reports that the club was ready to offer Kvaratskhelia a new contract until 2029 with a salary increase from 1.4 to 4 million euros. Liverpool forward Darwin Núñez could end up at Barcelona. The agent of the 24-year-old Uruguayan Jorge Mendes offered his client services to the Catalan side in case of Robert Lewandowski's departure. Both Núñez and Liverpool are considering the option of terminating their cooperation. It's noted that the player could have joined Barca back in 2020. Then, he had already agreed to move from Almeria, but eventually found himself at Benfica. This season, the striker slotted 18 goals and delivered 13 assists in 52 appearances for the Reds. PSG are working on sending Xavi Simons out on loan to RB Leipzig to keep him away from Barcelona. Xavi Simons wants to return to Barcelona. he has the option in his contract to choose the club where he can be loaned out, and he wants Barcelona. XAVI Simons' aim is a Barcelona move. If PSG decides to send him out on loan again, they must respect the player's wish. In this aspect, his agent will be speaking with Al Khalifi's son and ask him. Journalist Fernando Polo informs. Guys, that's it for today. Subscribe if you found this video useful and interesting. Check out the suggested videos from our other projects. The Football News channel was with you. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.